That quick breakout around business planning and anything you guys got on your mind. We meet right here about 10 a.m. for about 20 minutes. Lena, you can stay and we can talk about our case, because it's good for them to hear what's going on, because Lena and I have a big listing. We can talk about some of the marketing in our breakout session there. All right, so Sandy, you're starting.
So we're going to start off something just a little bit different. Just a little different. I never wanted ever to be said that Sandy Carpin welches on a bet, that Sandy Carpin is not a man of his word and lives up to everything that he says. So I have some business I have to take care of. Keith Sheffer, would you please stand on this chair?
Whoa. Uh-oh.
First of all, what happened on the ship stays on the ship.
Right.
If there's anything you want to know about what each of us did, you'll have to ask that individual. But let me tell you, I made a bet with Keith and I lost my bet. So I'm paying up my bet. This is a golf ball. This is my nose. Keith Sheffer is the best pool player in the world. Keith Sheffer is the best pool player in the world. Keith Sheffer is the best pool player in the world.
You got some of the cameras over there. Okay.
Keith Sheffer is the best pool player in the world. Keith Sheffer is the best pool player in the world.
All right, Sandy.
Kick my ass.
I think Keith felt sorry for him and let him win the first game, and after that, it was all over.
Okay. There you go. You happy now? Just some housekeeping stuff and quick awards from the Southwest region. For the first quarter, the number 6 team in the Southwest region goes to Don Matheson and the Matheson team. And for the first quarter, the number 1 individual in the entire Southwest region is Christy Ryan. A quick thanks, of course, to Paul Baker and to, where are you, Bill? Bill's here. Bill Fuchs for covering and helping out in our absence last week, and of course the rest of the staff, Carolyn Long and Lori. Thank you very much.
Thanks everybody for not getting us sued and not starting the building on fire.
And of course to Jerome and Dorothy also for holding down the fort last week. So we'll get right into it. We have a lot going on today. So everybody, who belongs to Scottsdale Association? Right, most of us do, right? Okay. So have you guys been to the new building at all? It's been around about a year and a half, maybe 2 years or so. So Rebecca Grossman is the CEO of our organization, of our association, and she's been kind enough to take some time out of her day to talk to us about what's going on at SAR, things, the building, new events, all the wonderful things. So I think most of us know, so I'll turn over to Rebecca Grossman.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Appreciate that. I have no idea how to follow that, so I'm not even going to try. Appreciate you having me here this morning. It's been really fun this month. I've been out a lot. I think people like Paul are responsible for that, but I think that with so much going on, it's an opportunity for me to come and share a lot of different things. But I like to start out with just some statistics. It's important that you constantly keep informed about what is going on in the market. If you find that to be difficult, all you need to do is log into RPR. You all have access to Realtors Property Resource. It's included in your National Association of Realtors dues. And one of the things that I love about it is you go in and you start searching on any property that you're interested in, whether it be listed or not. There's quick stats on the right-hand side that are constantly updating days on the market, the dollar volume up or down. And so there's really no reason why you as realtors, and I always tell people this, is that you should be the source of information for everyone. Gone are the days where you hand out business cards and ask for people's business. The way to get business is really to be informational and to be constantly touching people with information they value. And that is really, in my opinion, the best way to grow your business. So if you're not sharing statistics constantly with your sphere or with the neighborhoods that you work in, I think you're really missing a lot of opportunities. So very quickly, there we go. New listings, and this is March statistics, so I don't have April yet, but new listings are down 9.1% year over year. That I know you feel that, right? You've got some severe inventory issues. New listing volume is up, and of course we are, as you well know, seeing more listings in that high-end price range, and probably a little saturation right now in that price range. Active listings are down, and active listing volume is down, but average sales price is up, which is no surprise, right? Supply and demand, it's very easy to figure that out. So a lot of people are saying, well, what we need is more listings. Well, the pundits out there, there's not really a good way to get more listings when there just aren't any. I guess you could work on looking at people who might be in that generational cusp, so to speak, where they might need more of a house or less of a house, or so you could target and do some, but there's really not a lot of things that we can do. The thing that's going to change this is new construction. So we do have quite a bit of new construction. I just talked to, what was the name? Megan, about her site. There's a lot of presentations going on in our RMSs about new home sites. Unfortunately, to have a healthy market, you have to have new construction in all price points, because it's like a clogged drain, right? If if one can't move up to here and this one can't move up to here, so unfortunately our builders are not covering those price range spectrums, and that's the problem. So we're hoping that the cities will start to look at that and give some more incentives so that we can accommodate everyone in our region, in our area.
I got a quick question for you. Can you go back to that first slide? Is that March 2017 to March 2018, or what data?
That's what it is, year to year. Good question. Pending sales, we went way up. January, February, March, you guys were killing it. Really fabulous statistics that were coming out of those months. Is that going to be sustained? As you know, we are a little bit of a seasonal area. Some people have predicted, because do you notice how hot it got? A little bit more quickly. There are some people predicting that that's actually going to impact home sales in our area, because people were like leaving sooner, and the thought of that second home and all of that may not have been as prevalent. So we'll see. We'll see if that actually did make a difference. And then closed sales up 13.7. This is my favorite statistic that I'm sharing with you today. Distressed sales continue to fall. This is so awesome, because, right, you suffered through. So in March, 195 versus 573 in 2017. That's a huge difference, and I can only see that continuing to fall. So distressed sales are way down. Just real quick, I want to remind you guys that we do have a licensing school at the Scottsdale Area Association of Realtors. It's at our new facility. Wonderful place to take classes. So if you think about getting your broker's license, and I got some flack from the last group that I talked to, saying they think that if you get your broker's license, that doesn't mean you're going to open your own brokerage. That just means that you want to further your education and your knowledge and your expertise. So we do advocate that people who are in the business for a certain amount of time should get their broker's license. We have a class starting May 15th. We have a pre-licensing course. We love referrals. I will make it worth your while. I'll give you something nice if you give us referrals for new licensees who need their license. So send us your team members. We are very protective of the people who come to our classes. We don't allow them to be solicited by other companies. We also add a lot of additional learning to them, so they're coming out more prepared. And our classes are small. We keep our classes no more than 15, so very little bit of a different environment. And we love referrals, as I said. A couple things going on, and do I have internet connection? No, probably not.
Yes.
I do. All right. So, how many of you heard about the business tax prohibition ballot initiative that's going on? I'm so glad I'm here today, this morning. Anyway, so the Arizona Association of Realtors, your state association, is tired of constantly fighting bills that are introduced in the legislature that want to tax you as a licensee. It's an additional tax. It would actually be what I call double taxation, and it would municipalities could actually put that tax on you, all of them. So if you, how many of you work in more than one municipality? Raise your hand. Of course. How many? As many as 5 to 7. I would say most of you. So when this has been proposed, it would actually mean that you would have to pay a tax to every single city that you practice in. And it would add up to thousands of dollars a year. So we're tired of fighting that. We've been able to suppress it so far, but as you know, when a state needs money, they often look to places that may not be broad-based, may not be as fair as other kinds of taxes. So the Arizona Association of Realtors has introduced a ballot initiative to actually put it in the Constitution, similar to transfer tax. Are you aware that transfer taxes are in our state constitution and are not allowed? They're not permitted. Now that could be changed, but for now we're pretty safe on that. And we know that other states, if you've been on the East Coast like I was for 17 years, we had a transfer tax. It was 60 cents per $100 for every transaction. So it was thousands of dollars at closing. There are states in the New England area that are even, much higher than that. So we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. So your state association was able to get that in state statute, and now we're trying to get this. And so what it would be a permanent prohibition of the tax. Now this is a tax that's not just would be on you, it's also hairdressers and people who do nails, any service provider. So we're excited about the fact that we're not only going to have our industry supporting this, but we're going to have a lot of other industries. So we have to get it on the ballot though. Anybody know how many signatures you have to get something on the ballot in the state of Arizona? 225,000. Anybody think that's easy? No. That is like really hard, right? So fortunately, we have some smart people who are doing this, but I would hope that your office would go ahead and get one of these ballots to sign. You have to be very careful about how you sign. You don't want them tossed out because there's one signature that's not correct, and it has to be, you have to have it verified by a notary as well. So it's not easy to get these signatures, but we would appreciate it if maybe you could circulate one in your office as well. How many of you knew that AAR had a new single sign-on dashboard? Has anyone tried that out? It's pretty cool. So, we all get so tired. I'm bad about remembering passwords, right? My husband says he's got it figured out. He has some kind of fancy system that he uses, but I'm bad about remembering passwords. And we have different passwords for everything. So AAR is trying to give you one dashboard where you sign in, and all the products and services real estate related are on that dashboard. Now you may have a similar product as your company, but this is going to include all your zip forms, your MLS, everything. So single sign-on, everything there. I've checked it out. It's pretty cool. You should have gotten an email if it didn't go into your spam or somewhere else out in space. You should have had an email that allowed you to go ahead and register and sign up on it. If you do not know or don't have that, you can just contact our office and we'll get you that information. Next thing I want to talk about is safety concerns. We have a class at 2:30 today, and the registration numbers are pretty low, and I am very confused because we know that our own members currently, and safety is not just about your personal safety, it's about safeguarding information from your clients, safeguarding their money, and so we are continuing to have fraud, lots of it. So we have an FBI agent coming to our office. This is a free class. It's at 2:30 today at SAR, and it's going to cover all of the ways that you can safeguard your clients, because you don't want to be that real estate agent who's in the middle of a transaction that results in money being stolen because of wire fraud, etc. So if you have an opportunity to take it, we're probably going to repeat it throughout the year, but it's at 2:30 today. So please, if you have the time, come on over. We're doing an actual safety series. There was a recent attack, not agent held at gunpoint. Very recent. We continue to hear this. We continue to see that agents are doing open houses by themselves. How many of you, when you do an open house, make it a really active, more than just you kind of an experience? Okay, so so I hate to even have this talk because I know some of you have heard it before, but it is really, you know, I have been working for realtors for almost 30 years, and it's just so discouraging that you have barely changed your practices at all in the light of murders, thefts, rapes, assaults, and you just don't change. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to say it one more time. You need to change. You need to change the way people look at your business. We have countless crimes against you as realtors because they know how you do business. You know, if you look at some of the murders especially, they target realtors because they know that they are willing to be by themselves in a home and advertising anyone to come. That is what you do, right? Are you advertising to the public only to legitimate home seekers to come? No. Who are you asking to come? Everybody and anybody. I tell my new members, it's like if I was going to be bored this coming Sunday and I just put an ad in the paper and said, hey, I'm by myself at my home and I'm bored. If you want to come home and just hang out, here's my address. Come on over. Now let that sit for a second. Is there any difference between that and an open house?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I have guns in my house.
Oh, I always get that. I always get the gun out.
I mean, how do they know that a realtor isn't packing?
Okay, all right. I'm not even going to go there. Most criminals are not, so they don't think it through quite to that extent, but okay, so maybe they're checking, you know, NRA membership before they go to the I don't know. So let's just assume that you are not trained all the time on a weapon and you feel comfortable with that, and as the police say, you shouldn't carry a gun unless you're willing to take a life, and you know, there's all those things that factor into that, and that's your choice. However, you really are putting yourself in some extreme danger when you do an open house. So I am begging you to never do it alone, to make sure that you have these great affiliate partners, and I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing them and I know these people and they're wonderful. And you know, they would love to come and join you with some, you know, set up their information on their mortgages or their home inspections or whatever, and you know, make it a busy place. And I think that would really help our whole industry, is if people stopped thinking that they can just walk into a house. We had a member recently robbed, right? You know, just walked in and robbed them. They were by themselves, they couldn't do anything. And I don't think they were carrying a gun like that. So anyway, questions? You gonna try and change? Be really nice before I die. Okay. The other thing I want to check on is NAR released a new logo. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, who's got the computer? Who's got control? Use the computer.
Where's Greg?
I wanted to show it. So NAR is new. Now I'll warn you. How many got the email? Anybody? Man, you guys got to start reading your email. You might miss something big. This wasn't that big, but you know, there are some things. So NAR spent some money. I was expecting a really big change because, you know, they talked about that organization, you know, over 100 years they've been in existence, and, you know, Code of Ethics is over 100 years. And, are we shopping? Okay. So they revealed the new logo. Now, as you know, when you have 1.2 million members, there might be some opinions out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they got a lot of opinions. They got I love it, they got I hate it, they got all kinds of questions. They had said that they aren't even going to officially launch it till June, and they're going to give you till December of 2019 to phase into it. So it wasn't a difficult thing, but boy, oh boy, did they hear some screaming and yelling. So Elizabeth Mendenhall, who's the National Association of Realtors president, a great person, she put out a letter a couple days ago, and she said, you know what? We're going to put this on pause. We've heard a lot of comments. We've heard a lot of things, and we're going to put this on pause. I really wanted to show you the full video. Keep working on it. Who's working on it? I don't know. Where are we? Oh, there we are. Was the link not there? Or? Oh, gotcha. Okay. So right now, don't even worry about it. Don't even think about it. I have a feeling they're going to step back a little, but they're still going to go forward with it. And, we can come back to it. I know I have very limited time here.
Sorry, press on, he'll find it.
Yeah, if you could put my slides back up, and then we'll, another time. Okay. I could actually do a puppet show about the video. So, so you have the R, right? You've seen the R, right? It's flat. It has no dimensions to it, and they have this video like it's going to be like this ta-da big change, right? Like this really interesting logo that's going to appear. Well, actually, all it does is kind of do a 3D thing, and it's a little squared off, and it's got a little bit more dimension. It's more modern, much more modern, but it really is still the R. So, not a big change. A lot of us were hoping for a bigger change, and it wasn't. So you'll have to watch the video and take a look. How many of you do luxury homes or want to do luxury homes? Or I would say most of you want to or are. We have a really excellent class. We keep bringing it back because we sell out of it. It is not cheap. I believe that, $595. But if you talk to some people who've taken this class, and we have testimonials off the wazoo about it's the best class they've ever taken it. It's increased their business. It's done all this. So if you're interested, we are bringing it back again. It's going to be it's a 2-day class, Thursday, June 7th and 8th. And if you're interested in that, just give me your business card, and I will have Laura Kovacs, who runs that, and get with you. This is a great class, and the only reason I'm promoting it is because we've had such a good response to it. It's a luxury home market. You get it's not a designation, but it's a certification by this company that does this class. Now I'm going to finish with the Hutch Fund. There's Paul. Paul, you help me out if I miss something, right? How many of you are very familiar with the Hutch Fund? A few. Okay, so I'm just going to touch real briefly. This is your fund, by the way. This is for you. And I have a lot of agents who they sit there and they say, well, I will never have financial woes, right? We get that a lot, right? I have seen people who've had to apply for this fund who were at the top of their game with plenty of money in the bank, and because something happened to them, either a health concern, an accident, they went south in less than 6 months. It could happen to any of us. I'll personally share, my husband had a heart attack September 1st. Luckily they saved him, yay honor health. But it was a left anterior descender, 100% blockage, less than 20% survival rate. And he survived, and he's doing great, right, Sharon? He's doing great. But guess how much we had out of pocket? We have insurance. We have insurance, and I could not believe out of pocket and the medications and everything like that. Luckily, I had savings, but if I had not, it would have been terrible. So, any of you could need this, or any of the people that you're close to. So the Hutch Fund does not. We don't write a check to you directly. We pay your medical bills, your expenses, your housing expenses, whatever it is to take you to get you through that catastrophic event. So it's for anyone, any realtor, any affiliate member who's had a catastrophic event. And it doesn't have to be them. It could be their spouse or a child You know, how many of you have known people who've had a child that's been very ill and that parent can't do their business anymore because they have to be in hospitals and taking care of that child? So all kinds of reasons that you might need this. I hope that you never do, but it's important that we sustain this fund. And so to that end, you can see these are our statistics for the last 3 years, and then our 3-year total for 2014, 15, 16. We've been pretty good about raising the money that we spend. But in 2017, we awarded $42,621.79, and we really only raised 20. So it's going in the wrong direction. So we need to up our fundraising efforts, which we have done. I'm going to bypass this and tell you the fun ways that you can help. We have the Big Band Hutch Fund event Saturday, April 28th. How many of you have tickets already? Oh, and the rest of you are going to miss it. This is going to be so fun. This is a beautiful property that the listing agent and homeowners have allowed us to use for this fabulous event. It's going to be gorgeous. The tickets are going up after today, but right now they're on 55, and that's for a big band, dancing, food, beverage, the whole bit. So please see Paul, right, Paul?
You bet.
See Paul if you want to get your tickets or need information, more information. Do you want to add to that at all, Paul?
No, you're doing great.
Okay.
I'll add. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, is there a way that if they didn't necessarily want to go to the event, they could just donate? What's the best way for them to do that?
Yes. You just write a check to ARDAF. That's the Arizona Disaster Relief Fund. And we should thank the state association for handling the fund for us. We raise the money, spend the money, but they maintain the fund for us and for other associations that have charitable organizations, and it's really fabulous. So that's why don't write it out to SAR, ARDAF.
All right, and anybody that buys one through Paul today will be buy one, get one free. The company will pick up the other.
Way to go, Bill.
I love it. Yes! I'm telling you, it's going to be a great date night. My husband's working, but so yeah. But if yours is not, it'll be a great day. The next thing I want to mention is the Elite Restaurant Program. How many of you have heard of this? Okay, there's our little thing on the big. That's the property. See right here? Absolutely gorgeous. And when that sun sets, and these are our sponsors so far. Awesome people who are supporting this event. I'll give you a second to look at that. And if you're not up there and you're an affiliate in the room, I can take care of that too. All right, so the Elite Restaurant, this is very, very cool. We've been trying to figure out a way to do something that's sustainable to raise money for the Hutch Fund, because doing these events, you know, there's a lot to it, and so many times we really don't know how much money we're going to raise, so we're trying to get something that's a little more sustainable. I have one of these, and this is awesome. They usually cost $99. We're getting them for $50. You're getting them for $50, and 25 of that $50 goes directly to the Hutch Fund. We've already raised almost $2,000, and we just started this in February. So this, and it's easy. You know how you have so many discounts and you have coupons, and you never have them when you need them. This is so easy. It's an app on your phone, 50% off. That's it. Very easy to remember. Buy one, get one entree, get one 50% off. There's a whole list of restaurants.
Buy one, the second entree is
I'm
free.
sorry, free. Sorry. The 50% is what we get off of the regular price. I'm sorry. Thank you, Paul. See, I knew. It's good to meet you. So yeah, buy one, get one free. It's very simple. I've already gone to a couple restaurants I would have never tried. They look great. The Vig, if you've never been there, that's an awesome place. So that's the concept. Any questions or things that I missed? No, I'm done. That's okay.
No, I was going to say, you got 5 minutes.
Thank you. I have
Paul,
5
you
minutes.
wanna
I thought I
add
was
anything
over.
During this time, I know you wanted to kind of give
I thought I was over. Thank you.
So we came onto this company, Elite Restaurants, and SAR vetted the company and found it to be very credible. And it is. It's a very easy app on your phone for somewhere around 25 or 30 really quality restaurants in town. And they just automatically approve it and take that 18, 20 bucks off your bill. It's as
I just
easy
hand
as
them
it
my
could be.
phone, and they do it. They take
So,
it.
but these can be great client gifts. They don't automatically renew like some things you hate that you've tried for a year and then automatically you get renewed. They don't do anything like that. It's a great client gift. If you buy them in bulk, they can brand you on the card and you can hand them out. So if you bought 10 cards today, and it was April, May, June that you finally handed them those last cards out to people, that calendar year does not start until that friend of yours or client of yours activates it. So that's kind of a neat feature too. You could keep them in the drawer for 6 months if you needed to get rid of them. So that's
Thank you.
if you ask about how's an easy way to support Hutch, this is fantastic. You can either use them yourself or give them away as client gifts. And first quarter, what did we raise? Almost $1,700.
Almost 2,000 now.
Yeah, to the Hutch Fund.
Yes,
So,
I mean, I'm
Thank you,
just
guys.
ecstatic about it. And unfortunately, I usually give one away when I do these presentations, so I still want to do that. I just forgot to bring it with me. A little busy this morning. So I will do that. We actually bought, for the association, we bought a bunch of them to just, thank you gifts for speakers, that kind of stuff. So it's been really, really nice and supported the Hutch Fund. But I will, do you have like business cards that you collect, or is it anyone's birthday today?
It's my wife's.
Does not count.
I was gonna say, Terry's having one next week.
Who's
The
closest?
22nd,
I have one next
right?
year.
Tomorrow?
Greg's having one Friday.
I'd love to give
But
birthday
I'm
presents.
part of this. We want to make sure you guys.
Sharon, when's your birthday? You raise your hand.
We'll send you our list of attendees, how's that?
Yeah.
Added restaurants to this also, and we've been using it, and it's been great. We've tried a lot of different places, it really works, the app is easy, and they, every time we go online, we see that there's more and more restaurants that are joining it, so it's well worth it. It does work. I can attest to it.
Okay, so we will get the list of everybody that's here today, and I will cut it up and we'll have a big ta-da at my office, and I will contact the person who has won that. And I really, any questions quickly while I'm, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Love
thank you, Rebecca. All right, so does everybody in here know that we can do commercial real estate? Yeah? All right. So we have 4 individuals in the room that focus, not 100% on real estate, but one is Antonio. Antonio, you want to stand up? Just want to make sure everybody knows you. Steve Prosky is in the house. Steve, stand up so everybody knows you. Just say, come on. Because Steve owned a RE/MAX franchise, so he has a lot of history with RE/MAX. Chris Wyatt in the building. Where's Chris? Stand up. Yep. And then Sonny, stand up. All right. So these guys are guys that have done multiple commercial deals throughout the years. But the reason why I brought it up is that you guys can also do commercial, but I want you to be careful. So we are opening a commercial division, and I do have a guy that's going to start May 1st. We've tried it in the past and haven't really ran huge segues, but it's a big opportunity for us. Everybody in this room, okay, so think about the last year. And remember the phone calls that you've received. Who has received, somebody says, Nicole, do you do commercial real estate? So raise your hand if you've gotten that call. All right. Don't let those leave this building. So work the gentleman in the room, and then they're going to be somewhat supervised by this commercial guy that is a broker that's currently running a commercial division here in town. So there's just been some things that they need to wrap it up, but it'll give you guys an in-house support of not letting your commercial deal leave the building. So why? You have more control over it. B, when you get paid, Sandy's the one that ultimately is managing the money. So there's a lot of advantages to that. All right, number 2, new agents. I didn't see Brian Ford. Is Cheryl Lee in the house? Is Cheryl? Cheryl, no. How about Abby? Abby, no, I didn't see Abby either. Molly. Art Buck, nope. Art Buck's back. Remember Art? Yeah, Art's back. No, not that Art. Author. Jana McKinney? No? Say it again?
Mankey.
Yeah, Mankey. Stand up and introduce yourself. Welcome.
Hi, Dennis.
First time brand new agent?
First time, well, I've been in the real estate business since September. I switched over brokers in February, so I'm good so far.
All right, good. And you're on,
I'm on the McDonald's.
okay, welcome.
Thank you.
I saw Adam Johnson. Isn't Adam Johnson here? Adam switched, where did he switch from, Darren? Launch. Adam switched from Launch. Don Kirkham. Is Don here? Okay, these guys might not be on our email chain. Diane Holmes, Matheson team. Is Diane here? Diane, introduce yourself.
She's actually prospecting at the moment for 3 hours every morning.
Because you sent her to Mike Ferry School, or what?
No, not yet, but she's hitting the phones.
So guys, Don's got a requirement on his team. You don't join his team until you, well, generally speaking, this must have been an exception, until you go to Ferry's script and dialogues.
Yeah, should be going there.
Who's done that? Life-changing. I'll tell you what it taught me is how much time you waste in the day not prospecting. It's amazing what you can get done in 1 hour with uninterrupted phone calls. So, all right, Don, what about Jolene?
Smalley. Big things come in Smalley packages. I say that.
Introduce yourself. Nice and loud.
I am the new listing coordinator for the Matheson team. I've been licensed since July. From Prescott, moved to, just got settled in here January, I guess, in the Phoenix area. Prescott for 14 years. I've closed about 3 transactions and decided I need more training and knowledge and stuff like that. So partnered up with this guy who's going to teach me right, and then I will utilize my license to make them.
She's working with a very successful relationship with President.
Yes, yeah.
Great. Yeah, I would say generally, you'll learn more in 60 days with Don than you will anywhere else in a year. So, yeah. All right, does everybody know about our commission share program? Raise your hand if you know about our commission share program. All right, Rebecca, explain it.
Did you just call me Rebecca?
Oh
my God!
Veronica,
Just kidding.
explain
I love
it.
Rebecca.
I'm sorry, Veronica.
Well,
Explain
you can
it.
either hunt heads or you can hunt houses, right? So, hunting heads is our referral
Whoa, whoa,
program.
whoa, whoa.
Wow.
That was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Go, girl.
Go, girl! So, with Dell, he's offered the program where if you bring agents on board who are new, he's going to pay you a percentage of their commission while the entire time they're with RE/MAX of any deal that they close.
Wow. That is correct. Perpetually,
Yes.
25% with whatever we make, and it's not a profit sharing, it's a commission share program. Guys, it's a game changer. It made everybody in here a partner. We've had, I think, 3 people so far in the program, and just to let you know, you've got to manage it, it expires in 73 days. Just saying, it expires in 73 days. Because I got to know where we sit at P&Ls. Because I made everybody in here it's different. The average share program at Keller Williams is a half a commission. That's it. The reason why I'm breaking this out is because the industry's trying to get you guys to hunt heads or people and not houses. But here's the dilemma. If everybody quits hunting houses, how is anybody ever going to get paid? Because there's only one thing that feeds this industry, and that's commissions of selling houses. So anyway, I threw my hat in the game. Work it. All right, that is back to somebody in the room.
We got D.R. Horton with us, Megan.
Yeah, Megan.
So I'll let you get up and talk.
Paradise Ridge, right?
Yes, Paradise
Okay.
Ridge. So I don't know if any of you guys know, but we're right off of Mayo and 64th Street. The big sign's up. We're already starting construction. Models will be framed by next week. And we've already opened for pre-sales. So we've sold 30. We have 260 to go. Well, 230 to go now. It is gated, community pool. HOA is $94 a month. Pricing starts right now at $460, and that's for 1,800 square foot 2-story. We have 12 different floor plans, 3 different series. So you have, the clients who kind of want to keep their price under $500. We can accommodate that. We have clients who want a bigger product backing to wash with views of the mountains, and we have that product as well. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with D.R. Horton, but we kind of got away from the design center aspect in the last few years and kind of kept our prices lower end for entry-level buyers, and this is kind of our old school product and getting back to the Desert Ridge series where we have design center. Design center product, typically when you go to, let's say, Ashton Woods, you're gonna spend 100 to 150 in upgrades. With D.R. Horton, our buying power has allowed us to create our own design center and to have our pricing be very reasonable. So clients are spending anywhere from 20 to 40,000 at design center and getting a great product. So, questions? Yes. They vary. So our smallest product is 50 by 70, and that's all 2 stories. So we'll have roughly 70 lots in that section. Then we go up to 45 by 115, and then we go to 50 by 120, and that's standard size. So there are some larger than that. In the 50 by 70, they can go from 3,700 to 5,000 square feet. In our midsection, they go from 5,000 square feet up to 14,000 square feet in the bigger section. So we do have some bigger lots, depending if you want a pool.
14,000 is the largest.
14,000 is our largest. Yep. And then earnest deposits, 10,000. Right now, when we open back up for pre-sales on May 1st, our deposit is refundable until models are done at the end of June. So it's giving buyers an opportunity to see what they're getting prior to saying, you know, we really want to purchase this home. But we are confident that we're not going to get anyone backing out. And then for agents, we pay off the final sales price. So after your clients have done their design center and everything, you get paid on that. So if you want to sit in on their appointment, help them pick out stuff, it does benefit you as well. And then another big thing that D.R. Horton does is if you have clients who are coming in town or they're off from work and you're busy with the client, if you call us and say, you know, Jan's coming in at 3 o'clock today, we'll get you covered. You don't have to be there on the first visit. We don't require that. We're very agent friendly, so you don't have to worry about your client getting cut out of the deal. We also do contingencies, so D.R. Horton is a great company to bring your clients to. Yes?
So you guys are west of Scottsdale. Do you guys still have a Scottsdale mailing address?
We don't. It's Phoenix, so it's 85054. Goes to high school, Horizon, and then there's elementary and middle school are going to be in Paradise Valley, but Scottsdale zip code. So just, you know, great schools, but you are still Phoenix, so your tax rate is a little bit lower. It's easier for us to get permits, so build time right now is anywhere from, we'll have some quick move-ins when we start. They're already digging trenches for those, so we'll have 14 specs that will be ready to close by September. Our buyers who've already gone under contract, those homes as well can be done by September, October timeframe. Yep.
What disclosure are you making for 64th Street going through?
No disclosure right now. So there is a gap between our community and 64th Street, so it's really, that's not going to be an issue. We do have a disclosure for, it's currently technically in a flood zone, so your clients are required to get flood insurance. D.R. Horton has an insurance company that just does new homes, and they've said, you know, flood insurance for the year is around anywhere from $800 to $1,100 for the year. So when you break that down over a month, it could be $80 to $100 a month.
All right, any other questions for Megan? No, did you bring?
I have price sheets and floor plans, so. And
do you have one for everybody?
I do.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, if you can put them at the end of the table
Yeah.
and let them, yeah, so really easy. We've kind of forgotten about new homes a little bit, right? But they're back and your clients are looking at them. So make sure when you do a buyer orientation that you explain to them and how to handle themselves if they walk in an open house without you and how they walk into a new home or a new home place without you. Because next thing you know, hey Del, I have good news and bad news. The good news is you get to list my house. But guess what? Dagger, right? All right, and then we have Jeff. Jeff in the house. Jeff, so with Pulte Homes at Sky Crossing.
Up by the Desert Ridge area near Mayo Clinic. Grand opening was this past weekend, so we had probably 500, 600, 700 people through. I'm still trying to get caught up, but 1,800 square feet up to about 4,000 square feet. 3 series in the non-gated side. We'll have the whole community centers, pools, fitness facilities, splash pads, all those types of things for $112 a month, HOA. Pretty great. Low 400s is where we start, and we go up to the 600s, and the gated side of Sky Crossing, those will start in the 5s and the 800s. So depending on the product, we've got a little bit of everything for everybody. About a 7-month build time. So sprinkle in some new homes as you're selling the resales too, and let us do all the work and make it super, super easy for you. I did bring some price sheets. I've been handing them out. If you didn't get them, I'll leave some to the side, and I have some business cards as well. But if you do want to just reach out and contact me and say, Jeff, send me some more information. I've got people looking. Jeff.collins@pulte.com. Again, Jeff.collins@pulte.com. We are right across the street from Pinnacle High School, in between Tatum and Cave Creek, just north of Deer Valley. And again, a little bit of everything for everybody, from single stories to 2 stories. Some of the 2 stories will have owner suites downstairs, so a lot of people do like that as well. And it's been quite a ride so far. We just opened, and we've got about 600 home sites in that neighborhood. It is a joint venture with the Taylor Morrison Group, so there's we have 8 different models and 17 different floor plans to choose from. And then the Taylor Morrison Company has 7 or 8 models as well. So there is absolutely a lot. Nice time to spend an afternoon if you want to just go look at models and new ideas, but it's pretty great.
So Jeff, Megan explained her registration policy. What is yours?
Yeah, so on our doors it says if you're working with the real estate, we would like you to come and visit on the first visit. I have had, I've seen people I've worked with in the past. Is I was up in the Fireside at North Terra neighborhood about 6 years ago, and then I went back down to the Southeast Valley. I'm back up to the north area, and I've had a lot of people, they call and say, hey, I can't make it. I'm with some other folks. Can you help me out? And I always try to work with every agent because relationships are my thing, and half of my business or more is real estate agents.
You're only with one community over there, right?
Correct, yes.
So if they register with you, doesn't mean they registered at the other 2.
Correct. Now what happens is, because we have a non-gated side and a gated side, what we would do is we would just make a copy and hand it over to the other people that are just kind of working right there with us, just to save a little bit of time.
You want to give them a quick idea about lot size as well, since we asked?
Yeah, so 3 different series that I'm working with, which our models are open. Come take a look. We have a 30 wide product, which is going to be on a 40 wide home site and 100 feet deep, so that's 4,000 square feet. Then my next series will be a 50 by 120, so that's 6,000 square feet. And our larger series will be 65 by 130, or 8,450 square feet as standard home sites. Everybody comes in and says, I want a big, big home site, big, big lot. There's a few of them, but if you know the Desert Ridge area and you know that, I mean, we're putting them in there. Typically, you're going to have about 10 feet in between homes. But it's done very nicely in there. Please come take a look. It is absolutely incredible. We've gotten a lot of great feedback.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. Absolutely.
So, you got anything else? No? All right, so let's go ahead and move forward with our marketing partners. These are the people that actually make everything happen for us. So we're going to start over here with Julie. So Julie was nice enough to bring all of the staff sunscreen, so we didn't get sunburn. And I can truly say that I saw everybody using it, but it still didn't prevent sunburn. So.
Julie LaRosa, Stewart Title. Just a couple quick notes. A reminder that Scottsdale Luxury Home Tour is this Thursday, and our speaker is Jesus Murillos from the City of Scottsdale Planning and Zoning Department. So for those of you who know him, he's fabulous, always has great information. And there's a lot going on with education in our cities and our state right now, so get informed and please support our teachers.
One more thing about Jesus, we're actually going to have him again later on in the year. So it doesn't matter how many times you see him or listen to him speak, he always has something new. So please go to both events. So just a little plug on that. Fidelia.
Good morning. I bet most of you own homes, so this is my suggestion to you as homeowners, not realtors. Change your filter, clean your coil, make sure your air conditioning's working. It's going to be hot pretty soon, and very often when the tech out's out there, it's something really simple like no filter, dirty coils, no maintenance. So you can share that with your clients, but everybody should go home and check and make sure they have a filter and that things are done. I had my maintenance done yesterday. Another problem with my air conditioner, so thank God for my home warranty. Seriously.
Thanks. Sharon.
Good morning, everyone. Sharon Wolf-Furman, AJF Engineering and Inspections. For those of you, I've promised for almost a year now to introduce you to our operations manager who has been with us almost a year full-time. Really, she's been with us since the beginning of AJF. So for those of you who don't know Allie Jennings, she's actually Allie Furman Jennings, and she's the A in AJF. So please meet her, and she's heard about all of you and knows, has been working behind the scenes for many, many years. So thank you. Just two quick things based on what was being discussed today. Reminder that we absolutely do lots of commercial inspections and can attest to an uptick on that, and we've handled all different sizes. It is a custom pricing for that, so for those of you in commercial and as moving forward, Del, just know that we do that. And we also do new construction. Most important inspection you can do on new construction, in my opinion, is the phase 2. That's before the insulation and walls go up, because you'll never see what's behind them afterwards. And then the rest of it is more like an existing home or the 1-year warranty. So we do all of that. Just ask. We're here for your clients, and we have flyers. So thanks.
Thank you, Sharon. Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany from CNN Mortgage, and we're all representing today. Scott's here, and Beth's here, so thank you for having us. Also in the same theme of going on today, we do offer commercial loans as well. We have a couple different avenues, and they're really pushing kind of the hard money, low doc commercial loans. So we do that. And then also, we have a super aggressive construction loan program. 1-time close and 2-time closes. Right now, the best thing is the 1-time close, because you lock in your interest rate now, and you can have up to a 24-month build time, and that rate's locked. So it's actually a really great program. We're doing it on our own warehouse line, so it's not going out to the banks. We're doing it ourselves. So the rates are as low as they possibly can be there. And then also tied in with that, the renovation loans seem to be more and more popular, because people are wanting to update their resale homes. So either the seller can do it ahead of time as a refinance to get it ready for sale, or somebody coming in maybe, and I've seen a couple realtors at open houses have examples of what you could do to update the home, to renovate the home, have an architect kind of put something together. We can do a construction loan program, so when your buyers are walking in, you kind of already have ideas for them. So think of us, call us.
Jill Bright.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So just to tack on to a couple of the things. I had my AC serviced, and there was some weirdo thing that the guy came in and said, this is, this needs to be replaced. I said, okay, great. I just wanted to blow cold air. So do it, because it makes sense. Couple of things. I've got an Optima tour coming up next week. So if you have a listing that is getting ready to go on the market, or have a house on the market and want to be included in that, let me know. We've got our monthly Go Gray class. I've been talking to a lot of people about hyper-targeting within your farm area, so let me know if you guys are interested in chatting about that.
Thanks. Dan.
I'm Dan, AC Melody Media. We do all your photography and marketing, full marketing package, video, drone, everything. We're now expanding, and I'm partnering with sign setters, which I think they do some business here. So we'll be installing your signs, your lot boxes. They store them. When they put a sign in front of the house, they take a picture of the sign, let you know it's there, and they do it all within 24 hours. So AZ is partnering with them. As well as, we're going to upload your pictures to MLS, so we know how busy you are. You can't get in there and get that my team will go in and upload the pictures to MLS now. So give us a shot on your next listing.
Jason and Sean.
Hey, I'm Jason Glashin with Home Point Financial. I just want to take the time to say thank you for the referrals. Sean, I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't had the chance to use Home Point Financial yet, please consider us as one of your options. We'd love to work with you guys.
We do have a lot of things that we are offering. We have the monthly classes for CE credits at our office, so don't miss out on that opportunity as well. We have a lot of digital marketing outside of just doing the loans. So if you have a new pocket listings or new listings coming up, help drive leads your way. So let me know if you have any interest in that. Just give us a shot. Thank you for your business.
Can you give me a quick update on the Aaron Hodges?
Yes,
Hodson.
Aaron Hodson. So we're doing the coaching classes every 2 weeks. And so far the feedback has been incredible as far as what the agents are getting out of the class. And if you haven't heard of it or if you want more information about it, let me know. Let Jason and I know, but it's pretty incredible and we're seeing some good results.
So our class is completely full right now, but depending on what's...
one or two openings.
Oh, okay.
So if you're interested, let me know. It's every 2 weeks and it's a pretty
Yeah, I think
hands-on class.
I think that we actually have the full 25 on this period. So there was 2 people that I know that were out. So we can still have more information. If we have enough interest, we can do it again after this class is done. All right, thank you. Julia.
Good morning, Julia Walker, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Just want to make sure you guys are aware of marketing materials that we have available for your listings for open houses. It's free to you. So if you want to know more about that, please reach out to me. And we're also adding new products continuously, and we've recently added a 5% down jumbo product, making borrowers who could not previously purchase homes a lot more opportunity than there have been in the past. So reach out if you guys would like to find out more.
All right, and Fidelity, well, we're going to go ahead and go with Tara, then Fidelity.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stay in order. Stay in order.
I was going to say, somebody got up and moved.
Tara Carter, Old Republic Home Warranty. On your chairs today, I gave you a little flyer that tells you a very easy way to order home warranties. You can do them on our website. It's faster and better and the greatest thing since sliced bread. So if you want to order home warranties in the middle of the night, if you want to, you can always call me and you can always email me, but you have several options there. So I wanted to hand that out to you. And I also want to let you know at 1 o'clock today that we are offering a class that it's for your ethics, the NAR ethics requirement. So if you haven't had that done, you have to have it every 2 years. So we are offering that today at 1 o'clock at Total Wine and More. And it's $10. So.
Which, let me jump in there real quick, because I was at Bill Gray's class last month, and I send Corinne a text and say, hey, this ethics class is required every 2 years now, and she's like, don't sweat it, you're covered. But then she went into my archive of classes, I would have missed it.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
don't
would have missed
forget,
it.
there's 2 ethics class. One is for our normal state license, which is not the same as the NAR Code of Ethics.
And this one's for the NAR.
Right.
This
Right,
one's for
there's
the
2
NAR.
different Code of Ethics.
So guys, I'm telling you, be careful. That Arizona Department of Real Estate is brutal right now. They will bump you out in a second. We had a kid taking his class, the Fed and the state test, and he went to use the restroom, came back, forgot he had a cell phone here. The lady took his cell phone, and now he's been waiting for 45 days to hear back from ADRE. He's just waiting. So, man, I'm telling you guys, you do not want to mess with them. You look at your signs, your marketing, everything. You talk about going on the sideline for a while or getting sanctioned, they are brutal.
And David Compton is teaching this class today, so we'd love to have him. Where is it? It's Total Wine and More at 10320 North Scottsdale Road. North Scottsdale Road.
All right.
Is the wine included?
We can talk. It is from 1 to 4,
So speaking of CE classes, we do have one right after this starting at 10:30. It's going to be about solar, so if you didn't sign up, that's okay. Please stay. We'll make sure that you're here. It's presented by Fidelity, so we're going to go ahead and talk to them next. Sharon?
Oh. Hi, everybody. I'm Sharon Trehune, sales manager for Fidelity National Title.
two amazing folks here. I do want to introduce a new face for you. Jason Collins, newest to our Fidelity sales team, will be here in Scottsdale. You'll be seeing Jason, not new to the industry, but new to Fidelity. So very excited to have him join our team. And of course, you know Jennifer Weller, and she's got some stuff for you. But I do have one question for all of you, and I know I brought up something I think last month about farming and some amazing farming ideas. How many of you in your current database, which is gold, as you know, y'all should have a CRM and keeping track of your database and the folks that you work with, but how many of you get notifications daily of somebody that maybe there was a death in your database, or there's a birth, or a marriage, or a divorce happening? And how about if it was happening in the next 60 to 90 days? How would that impact your business? We have a tool that can get that all to you. It's absolutely exclusive, amazing, nothing like it out there. Get with Jen, get with Jason, they can get your database converted and we can get those leads for you. So really outstanding. Jen, I know you've got something. So.
Yeah, just have a couple things. So first things first, is the most important, our Scottsdale Quarterly Happy Hour. Don't forget that. That's April 25th at the Living Room in DC Ranch. So Wednesday, it's going to be 4:30 to 6 o'clock. Hope you all can come. As you know, we usually have like 80 to 100 people there. I think it's our last one where we can actually be outside and have some nice weather. So come have a couple drinks on your partners. And then we do have the CE class today right after. It's Tara Rakowski, Solar in Real Estate, and Julia Walker is also sponsoring it. So please stay for that class. She's supposed to be phenomenal.
How many hours, Jen?
3 hours for disclosure.
Disclosure.
And in case you can't make that one today, we have the exact same class tomorrow at Fidelity from 1 to 4. We have our monthly CE class the third Wednesday of every month from 1 to 4 at our new office at Pinnacle Peak and Miller. So if you can't make it today, have it tomorrow. That's it. I know. That's all I got.
Thank you. Rebecca, who's our Spotlight Vendor of the Month, has a little presentation. There's also handouts on your chair. So the first and the last slide are going to be on the front, and then the most information is on that back page.
I don't think there's a back page.
Second page.
Yeah. Was there? Oh yeah. So there's two of them actually. So good morning. My name is Rebecca Niesing. For those of you that don't know me, I feel like I know most of you in the room from back in the day at the RE/MAX store back in '05. But anyway, I have been with Allstate Insurance for 20 years, starting as support staff in the last 13 years, having my own agencies. I've got two of my associates in the room. You guys may recognize them from tours. Elizabeth Castaneda and Morgan Cable. They work out of my Carefree office. And I also have 4 more licensed agents on my team. So I really wanted to just thank you guys as an office. Find Properties is really wonderful. I absolutely love RE/MAX. My mother used to be a RE/MAX agent when she worked here in the Valley. And so you guys have a special place in my heart for sure. And I get a lot of referrals out of this office, and sure, a lot of you personally. So I just wanted to give you a big thank you for that. My agency was able to come in number 3 in the state and number 94 in the country out of 10,000 agents, earning us Inner Circle Elite this year. So it was a super cool achievement that we got. I'm really proud of. But it really comes from referrals and growth and how my customer surveys come back and things like that. So anyway, thank you for that. I appreciate it. What I really want to get across is that we want to be your insurance resource during your transaction. You guys deal with so much stuff, and we want to be your trusted advisor. I get calls from Sandy and from Bill all the time, just with random insurance questions that come up, within a deal. So if you wind up having, say, a client that needs flood insurance, or a client that has an aggressive dog breed, or maybe someone who's buying a house and they're planning to use it as the VRBO. Some of those risks can be hard to place. Allstate can place all of those. If I can't find something within our company, I have broker options. So I can always help with just about anything insurance related. So today really what I wanted to talk about on the next slide is a gap in your insurance protection. So this I know is probably very hard to read, sorry, but basically what I wanted to talk about was just the gap that you guys have as realtors. So there's also a RE/MAX insurance requirements handout that I put on your chair this morning that just kind of goes over what you're not covered for. So RE/MAX Find Properties has got an E&O policy, that of course extends to all of the agents. So if anything happens during a contract, you guys are good. RE/MAX has liability coverage for the office space and for their employees only, so not contractors, but their W-2 employees. On the RE/MAX insurance requirements, it says general liability insurance maintained by broker does not extend to sales associates. Sales associates must maintain their own GL insurance. So that's really what I wanted to talk about. I get a lot of questions about, or really the misconception that, well, I have an umbrella policy. I've got my auto and my home and a personal umbrella, so I'm good, right? And actually, there's an exclusion within all of those personal policies for anything business related. So there's not really the general liability coverage through RE/MAX, and you don't have it on the personal side either. Basically, what this means is, let's say you're doing an open house and you knock an expensive vase off the shelf. Well, you're on the hook for that. You don't have, unless you have GL, you don't have a policy that's going to protect you. If you fail to warn someone that there's a hazard in the house, maybe a step or something like that, and they fall and hurt themselves, you could possibly be negligent for that, and so then you're going to be drawn into a lawsuit. So we have a ton of real life examples that have turned into really expensive hassles for some of your colleagues. We were hearing from one of our realtors at another company the other day that they gave a pool cleaning to one of their clients as a closing gift. Really cool thing, until the uninsured pool guy backwashed the pool inappropriately and somehow flooded the entire house. So the realtor gave up his commission to take care of the damage to the interior of the house, all the dry out and everything. We all remember what happened with Don Matheson's, client, or his listing a few years back, where an uninsured handyman accidentally burned down the house. I mean, that kind of stuff happens. Don is a really big fan of general liability insurance. Why did you have to bring that up?
Shit happens.
So I'm here to try to protect your shit, Don. So anyway, another thing that's really kind of a hot topic right now, I feel like I'm hearing it in every realtor meeting, but cyber risk. Huge topic. There have been situations within fine properties where some of the agents in this room, personal email accounts have been hacked by criminals trying to get information and commit wire fraud against your clients. So you really need to protect yourself against these risks. If it's not through me, contact your own insurance agent. But it's important that you have this policy. So on the next slide, I just wanted to show you what my solution is through Allstate, because I really feel like this is incredibly inexpensive peace of mind. So, for $320 for the entire year, you get $2 million worth of liability. You can use it twice annually, so if you get sued, we'll pay up to $4 million. 30 grand in business property, so that's going to be your signs, your laptops, your lock boxes, whatever you use for your business. There's 15 grand worth of showings and open house coverage. So this is the property damage and liability I was talking about. Something happens, with one of your clients that, is in that gap area. This covers it. This base policy gives you 5 grand worth of, the funds transfer fraud. And then just with a $250 deductible. So there's some additional coverages too, like Cyber One and data compromise. Those are great ones. They're a little more expensive. It might add, a couple $100 for the year, but then you've got that first party coverage if somebody, hacks, if there's wire fraud or something like that, where it really turns into like a big expensive deal. There's also employment practices liability. So that brings me to, like, if you're on a team, everybody is actually their own 1099 independent person, so each individual needs their own policy. So if you're the head of a team, then you can have the employment practices liability, and then it covers anyone who is your actual W-2 employee. So anyway, there's an awful lot more to say. I don't want to bore you with anything insurance related, but I am definitely here for any questions that you have offline. The girls and I will be around afterwards, so if you would like to just hand us a business card, we can get back with you with a personalized quote, because some of these coverages are a la carte. That's the base policy right there. Again, for $28 a month, to me it seems like a no-brainer. We're happy to help you. We'll email a personalized quote to you.
But I have a question before this.
Yeah.
So I put out this email to the agents about maybe a month ago, and I got some interesting responses from you. Here's the question.
Okay.
Okay. So the seller and buyer agreed to a 1-week post-possession after closing. In that week, the house burns down because of a fire. The question is, whose insurance covers the loss?
So who owns it at the time?
So I buy your house,
Uh-huh.
and you stay in there for 1 week. I own
So
it, you're
you
leasing
own it,
back.
it's gonna be your policy, we're gonna have written it with a home share endorsement, extending, liability coverage to me, but it's actually gonna be your loss because you're the owner.
Okay, so but here was the answer, just so you, and I realize it's some details, but
Uh-huh.
bring it up. It says here, the buyer's insurance company did not cover the tenant occupying the property.
Mhm.
The insurance only covered the buyer as an owner-occupied property owner. The seller did not have renter's insurance providing loss of the structure, therefore both parties discover the property was not insured.
That is interesting. But again, with the home share endorsement, that would have extended coverage, and not all companies have that, but Allstate does.
So
Yeah, but, yeah, it's one of those things where like if it's a, VRBO or a lease back or something like that, exactly that situation where, I'm gonna stay in the house for an extra month. It is a weird little gap that we used to not be able to cover. We're writing these overlapping renters policies and who has what, and now with this home share endorsement, because lawsuits have happened, so we have now covered that gap.
So generally speaking, we don't encourage leasebacks and, post-possessions, they're just not a good idea, but we do it. And you have to make sure whatever side you're on, there is proper insurance coverage, because not everybody does it.
Yeah, and please always, I'm here to answer questions.
What's the cost?
Oh, the cost for home share, isn't it $50 annually? 60. Thank you, girls, yes. So, yeah, about $50 a year, so not a big deal.
I never even heard of home share endorsement. All right.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
well, thank you so much.
All right, so Friday, 7th at noon will be birthday Friday. Jerome has promised me we will not run out of Chick-fil-A. Paul Baker told me he's going to be in and out of the office today, so if you're interested in that 2-for-1, give him your card today or put it in your box.
Shoot him a text, call him, email him, whatever the case is. Make sure that you get to him today.
2 days from now, Thursday, there will be no business planning. We'll get back on track the following Thursday. I believe it's the 26th. After this meeting, Frank Finelli will be in the back corner here talking about e-broker match. It's a referral service that he's doing extremely well on. If there's anybody interested in that, this back corner, you'll hear more about that in May. I'm going to be at this corner with anybody that has any questions in our quick mastermind group. So,
all right, and don't forget we have in 15 minutes we're going to have our CE class with Tara's back here. I see already. So it's sponsored by Fairway with Julia and with Fidelity. So please, if you didn't stay and you need disclosure, please stay.
Real quick.
Yeah.